Morning! It's Monday morning and off for a nice easy bike ride. Started off at Sherkston, a little trailer park kind of cottage thing, and from there taking the Friendship Trail all the way to Fort Erie, check out the fort, and head back home and hit the beach. So yeah, it's gonna be a pretty nice, relaxing, scenic ride. Maybe this week try going from Sherkston to Niagara Falls, St. Catharines. Maybe we'll see how it goes. It's a bit harder to ride on the mountain bike on these trails, but that's still worth it. The one thing that I really love about riding in Canada is how friendly people are. You ride by them, everybody says morning, hi, and everything. It's great. I love it. So this isn't really too bad of a ride. It's only a 20k ride from Sherkston to Fort Erie, and it's very enjoyable. The path it's not crowded, but there's a lot of walkers, people biking, so it's pretty nice. And yeah, it's nice to be in the fresh air. You're riding not too far from the lake, so you get that little breeze, and it's great. I'm loving it. Just pulled up this little park, but look at the views here. So this nice little detour, just going through the forest. Looks like an old path here. The main path runs right alongside, but this is a nice little change after 20k, and probably the tires like it more. The path is just taking us like that. One thing that I've always found really cool, the way they look, is the houses along these shores of the Great Lakes in Ontario. They just look so beautiful. It's pretty nice. So we made it to Fort Erie. Fort is just right there. Yeah, I've wanted to come here for a long time. Was just never in this area when I lived in Canada. So now that I'm back, it was nice to go for a nice little enjoyable ride here. Yeah, and the views are pretty amazing. You know, you got the waterfront right here with the States on the other side. Yeah, the fort's just right here, and it was a great ride. It took about an hour to get out here. I wasn't going fast, and the mountain bike, you can't really, it's just really annoying to push it through here. But yeah, it was a nice, relaxing kind of Sunday ride on a Monday. But time to head back and get some shots on the way back. So yeah, can't wait to do another one of these trips. It's pretty fun. Alright, so these are the Friendship Trails from Port Colborne, and yeah, here's a map. But yeah, basically we started off right in the trail park right here, went up Empire Road and joined the trail, and we went all the way out to Lakeshore, right where the fort is, and now we're just working our way back. Got 3k left to the turn, and we're going to be entering the park. But anyway, one of the things I got this week was a Garmin 840, and I really wanted to test it out on the trails and on a ride like this, and I'm loving it. You know, I've been using the Wahoo Element Bolt for about 5 years. I liked it, but there was a couple drawbacks. One, maybe I didn't figure out or whatever, but basically if you wanted to do any trainings, I had to go through third-party apps, to get the training onto the Wahoo. Navigation was also not the greatest. Had to use, again, third-party apps. And with the Garmin, you connect it to the Garmin Connect app. You can do everything from there, and I like that quite a lot. It makes it much easier using one app. You don't need, Strava, the full version, and it works great. Now, a couple other added features, touchscreen. Don't really need it, but I have it, and maybe I should have got the 540, but just in case I got the 840. Wasn't a big price difference between them. The color display is great. It was different trying to go from one system to the other system, but it's still kind of working my way through it. But in general, it was pretty seamless and really good. So I'm really enjoying it, and we'll see how it works out in the long term. Now, why didn't I get the 1040? Well, my buddy Julian's got it, and yes, it's amazing. You got the large screen, all that area. It's beautiful. But the problem is, for me, I use that computer for both road, mountain biking, and TT. With that 1040, I just think it's too big for what I need, especially for the mountain bike. If you take a look at the 840, it basically sits nicely right on my stem, and I got an 80 millimeter 20 degree negative stem, and it sits nicely. So you can see right here, it just sits nicely on the cage mount, and it works great. With the 1040, I think it would just be too big. But yeah, the other thing is, why didn't I go for the Kuru 2? It looks great, but again, I'm not sure how all the navigation and all that stuff work on it. And you know what? I trusted Garmin as a pilot when I flew on the airplanes, either using the G1000 systems and the higher systems. It was always reliable. So that's one of the reasons why I switched to Garmin, and I'm probably going to stick with it. So yeah, so I'll do a full-out review on it once I get a bit more experience with it. And yeah, so stay tuned. Take care.